what are the social implications of all of this? And this is why we're getting into all of this. One, bridal theft was a thing. Now, bridal theft would be a somewhat arranged marriage in which the bride would be violently kidnapped and taken away from her familial home. We find this in India, also called a rakshasa, or a demonic marriage. So if the woman was being forcibly seized, family members could easily get killed. So another thing could be that these eros spells are described as a reason for a wedding. Maybe somebody got pregnant and they're trying to save face. So there are lots of social implications that could be said for why you could use erotic magic as an excuse to justify something. So the erotic magic that Ferrone suggests, and I think he's right on this, was predominantly not done by, dreadful incels wanting to get their girlies. It was used in the context of marriage and marriage jockeying, not just love frustrated folks, but those who are trying to manipulate marriages. Many of these horrific sounding spells actually function positively. They build social solidarity. They create and enhance interpersonal relationships. So the woman who's afflicted with terrible desire and leaves her husband's house, goes to her new husband, or leaves her father's house to go to her new husband. She can justify going there by the erotic state, by the eros state of illness. And then once she gets there, that can be used as yet another level of tempting fate and making a social connection. So these are, as Ferrone describes them, these are dispassionate spells. They sound really horrible, but they're not done out of a frustrated desire. They're not done by a frustrated madman on the roof. They're done by somebody who wants to get a woman and get that woman to marry her eventually. So love magic is in fact declared to be part of a process that leads to a happy marriage. I mean, the big problem is, why would a man want to torture a woman of his dreams? Why would a man think of his beloved and want her to be completely afflicted by eros? He does this to get her to him, and then the pain stops. So it's not a desire to torture. The operator, in fact, may wish to gain a woman beyond his reach socially and mentally, or monetarily. Eros rituals could also be a way for the socially mobile to move up. And by getting, a woman who is greater than his station, he might claim impressive dowries, the bride gift from the bride's family. Also, these spells are thought to subvert the erotic ownership of another man. So it's almost like it's not even done to afflict the victim. It's done to affect a weakening and a subverting of the victim's relationship with another man, namely her father, for whom she is property. We actually read poems valorizing the wisdom and the bravery of the ones who use the magic to seduce the daughter of other men and the daughters of other men. They're not vilified. They're not made to be thought horribly. They're like, smart guy using the goge right to make that marriage happen. So we could argue that all of these rituals are used by passionate, unrequited suitors. But the archive, the data themselves, makes clear that these spells make a woman eager to make love. And that increases the self-confidence of the operator. It has an effect on the operator in the sense that he has a feeling that he's going to be more confident in his amorous advances toward his target victim beloved. The agoge rite actually forces her away from a parent and pulls her toward her suitor. And that violence and that horrible erotic feeling will end, and ultimately a new social relationship between man and wife and between two families and clans will be established. So all these Greek stories about Eros magic resolve in a pretty happy ending and a happy marriage. The effects of magic are only temporary. So you have two steps again in agoge: affliction and drawing the victim to you, and then also establishing a happy relationship. In this way, there is a love and a hate at the same time. And I don't know if you've ever been in a long-term relationship, but there is an element of love and hate that come in, an element of competition, an element of agonism that can exist in long-term relationships. I had a friend who would always say, like, Aaron, you don't understand. going to marriage is like going to war, and the war never ends. And he actually said that, meant that in a pretty positive way, in fact. I won't go into it that much. But what I want to put at here is we can see the relationships between men and women, gender differences, marriage stuff, courting stuff. All of that can be found just by looking at these rituals. Now, a lot of our notions on gender in magic are going to be very highly subverted in the last chapter of Pharaoh, and I look forward to getting to that. But until then, we'll look at another magic next time called Philia, and that's a horse of a different color. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.